we're talking about mental health, it's personal. We're not talking about other people from outside. It starts with us. So as we go along, I just want you to think about this question: how are you doing? Emotionally, physical, spiritual, social. How are you doing? Because even though we are out there helping other people, sometimes we forget ourselves, focusing on helping others. But as we go along this session, I just want you to think about this question, how are you doing? Emotionally, physical, spiritual, social, how cause of mental illness? First of all, one thing that I have noticed, maybe from my experience and the people whom I have met, every day in our life we face challenges. We face stress, maybe at home, at work, in our family, or it can be even the environment where you are. Your environment may be toxic, It can be the childhood traumas. Yes, childhood traumas have a way that it can affect someone mentally, And even nowadays, the story we are hearing, relationship, breakups, You break up with your boyfriend and you feel this is the end of my world. I mean, I can't live without my boyfriend or my girlfriend, So it means that you mentally you can't handle that challenges. So most of the time you find that there is a root cause of that mental illness. For example, I want to share of one of my story, because I say I'm not an expert, but I speak from my experience, So I went through childhood trauma. I was abused emotionally and physical. I grew up having not to know my mom and my dad because they passed on when I was 5 years. So I kind of not having memories of my mom and my dad. So I grew up in a very tough, let me say, in an environment which is toxic, And when everything was happening, at that time in Africa, of course, I was back in Rwanda. Nobody used to talk about mental health. Or you say, oh, I'm going to see a counselor. Oh, they say you are very rich. Those things used to be called, it's for the people who are very rich. And if you share with maybe your parents or, you understand, they say, I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? You have food, you have place to sleep, you go to school. Why are you depressed? So there wasn't that space of people just to open up of what they are going through. So for my story is that everything I was going through, I never opened up. I have never opened up to anyone. So you can imagine a childhood trauma. Imagine not knowing your mom and your dad and grew up having to live in that toxic environment for 14 years. It wasn't easy. So, and of course, I gave my life to Christ. I am a believer. I pray. I read the word of God. I have faith in the Lord that God will change my life. But you see, there's some places I haven't touched. So, one day when, how did I know that I have mental illness? Not big. So for me, it was I was experiencing panic attacks and anxiety. And this is what happened, So sometimes we think we are okay until something trigger in our life and for sure I am not okay. So I went to pick my passport. It was in Rwanda. And then someone asked me, for them to give me my passport, they wanted to see the ID of my father. And where I'm coming from, I don't even know my dad. Someone is asking me the ID of my dad. I do not know what happened to me. I just started having panic attack. Like clearly, I couldn't see the person who was in front of me. I could not hear my sister talking to me. I went in a, where it's a mental breakdown. Like you don't even know what is going on within you. And my sister, because she was with me, she started responding and saying, our dad died when we were young, so we don't have the idea of our dad. So my sister, she took over and explained. So when we went out, I started telling my sister, by the way, I'm having panic attack. What is panic attack? This is rich, and you are not a rich girl. You're not coming from in a rich family. Why you say that you're having panic attack? What is panic attack? You see, she's ignoring, and for me, I can tell I am not okay. And someone who is next to me is like, no, you. And you see, my sister, she wasn't doing that because she think those are for the people who are rich. You are poor. You should not even have mental health, issues. So I went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, the doctor said my heart blood pressure is high. You see, for them, they're going to cure the wrong illness. I'm having anxiety. I'm having panic attack. And nobody's understanding what I'm going through. Because with mental illness, you do not know you can't explain. I cannot explain to you that I feel like I'm dying. And you can't understand. So it was quite difficult to explain to someone. So you know what I did? I went, because I was in Rwanda to pick my passport so that I can come in Kenya to continue my studies in Catholic University. So I came back to Kenya. So I started doing research about anxiety and panic attack. Because I was like, what is going on with me? Why every time someone speaks about my past, I have panic attack? I go into a breakdown. I can't think, I can't do anything. So it was quite, I did not know how to handle it. So I went to see a psychology at school. So this counselor, she asked me, can you share with me your story? To be honest, I couldn't share my story. I could not open up. Because with every time I could start to speak about my story, the panic attack, the anxiety, I would feel like I'm almost dying, and I will keep quiet. So the counselor saw that there is a problem. So she said, for you to heal, you need to be able to speak out. Because with anxiety is the fear is the trauma that you have gone through. So you need to heal from your childhood trauma so that you can be able to enjoy life. Because you see, with anxiety, with the mental illness, it even affects you, your daily activity. I wasn't focusing in class. I wasn't doing well in class, even during the exam. When other people are doing exam, for me, I am so scared, like I'm going to die. You get it? So for me, what I want to say with what I learned with my story is that don't keep quiet and seek help when it is too late. Even as we help other young people, we should mention this many times. Seek help. It's okay to seek help. Don't wait until it is too late, and that's when you're going to seek for help. Because for me, the time I went to seek help, it was too late. And it took me almost like 2 years in campus dealing with my panic attacks and anxiety. And that was affecting my studies. And even some of people, they tend to resolve an issue with another issue. Some people tend to, I remember in campus, maybe it's because I need to have a boyfriend, you get someone who loves you. The fear is not going, you're not getting better. You're getting worse and worse, So we need to be a voice of telling people, it is okay not to be okay. It is good to seek help early. Don't wait until things have piled up and there are many, and that one morning I came to the office and I find that my boss has fired me without any notice. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you just fire me like that without even notice, without even telling me anything? So I went home. And you see, my mind, I could not face the reality of what was happening to me. I have lost the job. As a young person, there is that peer pressure. After graduation, you should have a job, you should be married at this age. This kind of peer pressure that is going on around. Now here, I don't have a job, I am not married, I am at home at my parents' place. You see, it wasn't easy. So I went back home and I closed my room. For 1 week, I couldn't open. Like, I couldn't go out. I would sleep the whole day, watching movies, eating in my room, doing nothing, and not even opening the windows. Because I didn't want to see anybody. I did not want to open social media. We all know social media, when you open, you get to see your friend is getting married, you get to see your friend getting a new job. Those are the things now start to make you mentally not okay and wondering what is going on with my life. So one day my father just knocked the door and said, Gakwandi, you need to wake up. I know you as a girl who loves going to church on Sunday. I have not been seeing you. I know you as a girl who always had working out there, cooking in the kitchen, talking to people. I haven't seen you doing that. You see, this is a person who have noticed some change in me. And he's telling me, you need to wake up. Sometimes we need to have a night to our friend. Always check your friend. Because your friend, they are going to depression, but people who are around them, they can't even tell. So as what can we do? Because we need to have that eye that see, I think Gakwandi, she's not okay. I need to go and talk to Gakwandi. And we need to learn how do we speak to these people who are depressed. Because there is a way you can talk to a young person and just shut down. And they will never talk to you again. So we need to learn even the language that we use. You know, I could imagine if that my father will start talking like those, African man. Wake up! Why have you been sleeping? Why? Those kind of things. I will shut down and not talk again. But I don't know I normally say my father, I don't know. I think God speaks to him every time. The way he spoke to me, it made me just wake up. I woke up and took shower and said, you know what? Even though I have lost my job, there's still hope for me. I can be able to go out and look for a job. You get it? So there is a way we can talk to these people who are depressed, who are mental illness. We do not judge them. We don't have to say, kwani hii kitu nina kudepressed kweli? Losing a job could depress you, can't wait. Even though it's a breakup with your boyfriend, don't ever judge anyone. Not everybody is able to cope with challenge the same way. And normally with my husband, so for me, I'm a psychologist. So every time we see maybe something that is happening, maybe it's through news, maybe like the story someone just commits suicide. For me, I will come as a counselor. Maybe this girl, something was not okay with her. So I will start looking at this situation as a psychology. But my husband, Kishua, why would you end? Those kind of things. So I always tell him, please, let's be kind. Because words that we tell the words that we tell these people are the words that are going to help them, even give them hope. Because how you talk to this person who is depressed, it matters a lot. And how my father talked to me that day, it really changed my life. And I woke up and move on with life. And here I am. So, being depressed, it does not mean that you will go